So high above the city of Edinburgh, on an ancient volcanic rock, stands a fortress that has witnessed 1,000 years of history. Edinburgh Castle is not just Scotland's most famous landmark, it's a symbol of war, royalty, rebellion, and legend. Today, we're stepping inside its walls to uncover the secrets of this ancient stronghold. Segment 1. The Origins. Edinburgh Castle's story goes back over 1,000 years. The very rock it sits on, Castle Rock, was formed by a volcano more than 300 million years ago. People have lived here since the Iron Age, but it became a true fortress in the 12th century under King David I. From then on, it was the beating heart of Scotland, where kings ruled, where battles raged, and where legends were born. Segment 2. Life inside the castle. Inside, life was a mix of splendor and hardship. The Great Hall echoed with royal banquets, political meetings, and grand celebrations. But outside those halls, soldiers, servants, and prisoners lived under much harsher conditions. The tiny, cold dungeons once held pirates, rebels, and prisoners of war. At the same time, sacred relics like the Scottish crown jewels and the Stone of Destiny were guarded in secrecy. To truly understand Edinburgh Castle, we must explore both sides of its history, the grandeur and the grim. The castle was a place of royalty. Kings and queens made it their home, hosting lavish feasts and welcoming visiting dignitaries. The rooms are richly decorated with tapestries and treasures from across Scotland's history. You can almost hear the ghosts of kings and queens walking the halls, their footsteps echoing through the centuries. But beyond the grand halls, life was far from comfortable. The castle was also a military fortress, a place of defense and attack. Soldiers lived in cramped, dirty conditions, constantly on guard against invaders. They trained, they drilled, and they prepared for battle, ready to defend the castle at any moment. The castle wasn't just a home or a barracks. It was also a prison. Men, women, and even children were locked up in the dark, dank cells. They might have been accused of crimes or caught up in the rivalries between the Scottish and English. Their stories are a reminder of the castle's darker side, a place of confinement and despair. But the castle wasn't just a place of hard work and suffering. It was also a place of pageantry and celebration. Royal weddings were held here, and the people of Edinburgh would gather to watch the festivities. There were also times of great sorrow. When royalty died, their bodies would lie in state in the castle, and the public would come to pay their respects. In the end, life inside Edinburgh Castle was a mix of everything, good and bad, light and dark. It was a microcosm of Scottish life itself. Segment 3. Wars and sieges. No matter who rules the castle, war is never far away. Over the centuries, Edinburgh Castle has been called the most besieged place in Britain. It has survived 26 sieges in its long history. During the Wars of Independence, it was captured and recaptured multiple times between the English and the Scots. Cannons were fired, walls were breached, and entire towers were destroyed as each side tried to gain the upper hand. But no matter how many times it was attacked, Edinburgh Castle always seemed to rise from the ashes, stronger and more defiant than ever before. These sieges weren't just battles. They were tests of endurance, of skill, and of sheer determination. The castle's defenders showed incredible courage, repelling attack after attack, holding on to the fortress and protecting what was inside. But the scars of these sieges remain. The castle walls bear the marks of cannon fire. The towers have lost their tops, and the dungeons are filled with the echoes of those who fell in battle. Each scar tells a story of bravery, of loss, and of the relentless struggle for control of Scotland's destiny. And now, for Segment 4. Secrets and Legends. As dusk falls over Edinburgh Castle, the wind whispers through the ancient stones, carrying tales of bravery, betrayal, and even death. For this is a place where history and legend intertwine, and the veil between the living and the dead seems to be at its thinnest. The castle is said to be haunted by the ghosts of those who lived, fought, and died within its walls. Footsteps echo in the empty corridors. Gunfire booms in the silent night, and the faint sound of bagpipes drifts through the darkness. Some say the castle's most famous ghost is the headless drummer boy. Legend has it that he appears before the castle is under attack, his drum beating out a rhythm of warning. Then just as suddenly, he disappears, leaving behind only the sound of his haunting beat. Are these stories just myths, or do the spirits of the castle's past residents still linger here, forever bound to this historic place? One thing is for sure, Edinburgh Castle is a place where the past comes alive. As you explore its winding passageways and ancient chambers, you can't help but feel the presence of those who came before us, their stories echoing through the centuries. To walk the battlements of Edinburgh Castle is to stand on the edge of 1,000 years of history. Edinburgh Castle is not just stone and mortar. It's Scotland's living story, a fortress, a royal palace, a prison, and a symbol of national pride. To walk its halls is to step into centuries of courage, tragedy, and mystery. And even today, its walls still whisper the secrets of the past. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing for more historical adventures. Until next time, keep exploring.